Everybody, I'm Officer Wes. Today we got something a little bit different in store for you guys. One of our local Cub Scout troops, Troop 85, they got a hold of us, and in the past what we would normally do is go and do like a presentation with one of them and kind of speak with them on one of their meeting nights. Because of what's going on right now, they're not meeting, and instead they're doing I guess Zoom meetings or something like that. And they asked us if instead of us going there to meet with them, if we could just take some of their questions and then answer them in maybe like a video or something. So I said, yeah, that's fine. So they sent me a bunch of questions here over the last few days, and we kind of put together some answers and what we could figure out what we could do for them. So hope you guys like them. Enjoy. Okay, so first question from the kids is, how many chases have you been on? I guess we can kind of break that down into either foot or vehicle chases. We don't normally chase vehicles a whole lot here in Dixon, and that's primarily because it usually ends up in a worse accident with somebody that's not involved, but we have quite a few foot chases. You're not going to outrun our radio, though, because that travels about 186,000 miles per second, the speed of light, so if you do run from us, our radio will beat you. Next question we got is, have you ever tased anybody? Refer here to Detective Sharp. He's our taser trainer.
Actually, in-house and training I have, yes, but actually on duty on the road I have not. Several officers have, though, and it's been very effective. It's a good tool to have. So yes, it works, and yes, officers have tased people.
We actually have a video. I'll post a link up here for Detective Sharp tasing one of our other officers. Got him right in the butt, so pretty entertaining video. If you take a look at that one. All right, do you guys have a canine, and what's his name?
Yes, we do. His name's Harry.
Harry gets into all our food and sheds hair everywhere. He finds drugs too every once in a while. What do you like about your job? I think we can all three of us take a turn on this one.
I guess my biggest thing is just coming to work every day, and every day's different. You never know what you're going to come into. Some other jobs, every day's kind of the same thing every day in and day out. So that makes it fun for us.
Yeah, I enjoy the people I work with a lot. I mean, we got a great department here, and everyone, for the most part, wants to be here and wants to be here, working. So it's an enjoyable atmosphere to be around, and we have a really good city, so that makes it enjoyable to be with.
What both of them said, plus helping people out when in need. Sometimes they call us when they need help, so we're there to help them out. Yeah, sorry, that came out really bad.
Such as cause for the.
Yeah,
I know where you're going with it, Carlos.
Yeah,
I was going to keep a straight face, but Ryan started laughing.
I know.
So you need to redo the whole thing?
Yeah, we'll just keep it there. Do you guys arrest a lot of people? Fair amount. I would probably say 5 or 10 people a week on average. Sound about right?
Yeah.
All right, and then last one from the kids is, have you encountered the Grinch on Christmas? I don't recall the Grinch, but we generally run Santa's ID on Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen the Grinch yet.
No Grinch? Got some Scrooges we meet around Christmas time, but... Mm-hmm. And some questions here from the adults. How much over the speed limit can they get away with before you pull them over? Nice try. I would say that the threshold for that is a lot lower when you're in a neighborhood, residential area, as opposed to, like, I don't know, maybe on the interstate, but that's state trooper territory, so good luck. All right, next question we got is, what's the silliest call you've ever been on? And we'll all take a turn on this one.
As you can imagine, we've probably all, in our professions experienced a lot of silly and funny and weird things, so it took us all a while to kind of think of our one story. So again, we could probably talk for a while on all these, but the one thing for me that stands out is I was responding to, I think it was like a disturbance or a fight call, and it was at night, and I was walking up to the house. One of the male subjects involved was on the side of the house, and he had his pants down, and he was going number 2 on the side of the house. So that was pretty alarming to me when I was walking up to that.
All right, silliest call I've been on, and I was a brand new officer, and some lady in town was going around taking other people's cats, And so I ended up going to her house, and she had just a ton of cats in her back little porch area. Well, I convinced her to release a couple cats that were her neighbors, and I had to go in there with a cat cage and try to grab these things and put them in the cage. I ended up with scratches all up and down my arms and legs and almost my face. And I remember coming back to the station and everyone looking at me going, "What happened?" I was like, "I don't want to talk about it." But I had cuts for quite a few weeks on that one, so probably my most silly call.
We helped out a hotel here in town that had a cat that was left by a renter in the room, and it was not friendly at all. They wouldn't let the cleaners go in there and clean it, so actually Wes and I were there at that call, and we had to get the cat in the cage and out of there. It took a while, but we got it.
They go in with blankets and try to get it, but it was a slippery bugger.
Was not nice at all.
Barely escaped with our lives. All right, last question we have is, how do you become a police officer? Every couple of years for this department, or every time a hire list expires, we create a new list of applicants. They submit it to an online thing, and then they come here and do a written test and go over to usually the high school and take a physical test. Once that's completed and you've passed both of those, you go into an oral interview with our police and fire board, and then they select their list from there, and from that list is what they actually pick people off. And you still have to go through a background check, a psych test, a polygraph test. You have to go take a medical exam, make sure you're actually physically fit enough to be in this job. And the minimum requirements, believe it or not, it's actually just like a high school diploma. College and everything else, military experience does help, and it's strongly encouraged, but it's not a mandatory requirement. Our own chief, he's just a high school graduate. I say just, but he's come pretty far in his life, and it's worked out pretty well for him. Once you pass all those things, okay, we'll send you down to the police academy, which they just lengthened, right? It's 14 weeks? 16?
14, I think.
14 weeks. Once 14 weeks is done, you come back and you get put in field training for usually around another 12 to 14 weeks before you're released on your own. And from that point, you're on probation for another year. So it's a long process to become a police officer, but it's, make sure we're some of the highly trained people. So that's what we look for. You guys got anything to add for that?
Plus, we have our online training every month too.
Oh yeah, the
That
training
you have
never
to complete. So
training
that's-
never stops. So we're always doing more updates with law and everything else, and try to do kind of a daily training thing. Every time we come into shift, whoever's in charge that day usually comes up with some kind of training to, help reinforce what we've already learned or further our, learning in another capacity or of some type. Sound good? Yeah. Well, appreciate you guys coming up with some questions for us. I'm glad that we could help you out since you guys are stuck at home doing Zoom meetings for your troop meetings. Glad we could take this time and help fill you guys in. So we'll see you guys next time.
Nice job. Nothing's good enough for him, is it?
I don't have any silly calls.
No silly calls. Some of the serious ones.
They're all serious. There's no
That
silly
should be
call.
I don't laugh. Every call is business. and funny things. So as we try to think. Let's do it.
Try to think. I like it.
What's his name?
Yeah, we do have a canine.
Jesus.
His name's Harry.
Do you guys have K9 and what's his name? Carlos? You can't do the long pause, just like,
Oh,
what's his name?
yes, we do. His name's Harry.
Looking at the camera when you do.
Yes, we do. His name's Harry.